What up, everybody? It is Tommy Runs and Aaron
I'm Aaron.
Worldwide.
You're
He's saying, and I'm Aaron. Today we start our first episode. We're super happy and excited to start our first episode of PR Project, episode number 1. And this whole thing is sponsored by Gen Can. Gen Can has some really dope fueling strategies. We got the to go. We got the what else we got, Aaron? We got all type of stuff. We got protein. We got on the go. We got the packet. We got the Energizer. All that good stuff. So
dope.
check out Gen Can because they are partnering with us on this to put out some content and then show our training from start to finish. I mean, we literally started training last Monday or this Monday, I guess. So that we're going into week 2 of our training. Aaron is training for which full?
The Newport Road Races full marathon in Newport, Rhode Island on April 16th,
April
2022.
6th. April 16th, 2022, and I'm training for the Boston Marathon on April 18th, 2022. And the process, and to talk about the brief kind of show concept of this whole thing, is we wanted to bring some content and have conversations around training, around recovery, rehab, and how to make it through, how we're making it through day 1 or week 1 of a training block all the way through week 14, 15, and getting to that start line healthy as possible and trained up as possible and ready to crush it, ready to kill and crush our PRs, right? And the whole thing about the PR project is to literally train and do your best and put everything out on the line and PR. And a lot of times we talk about these races and we talk about IPR'd and all this other stuff, but you don't really get to see like the background and like what goes into it. So we're going to try to be as transparent as possible and how we're feeling and how we're recovering, the tools that we're using, and the nutrition that we're using with Gen Can, and also the shoes that we're going to be running in. And a bunch of brands have said yes, we'll be a part of this. So we're going to have shoes popping up that are new, some that are unreleased, which is kind of dope. But we'll talk about like how we're feeling with them and how we like them and what we like about them and how they're helping us continue to stay out on the road and stay healthy and stay poppy, you know? So that's the whole show concept. We're going to be doing this every Sunday. This will be the only time that we do it on Instagram Live. The rest of it will be on YouTube Live, and it will be recorded and dropped on YouTube, and then will also be posted on IGTV so you can watch the whole thing there. But we definitely encourage you to jump over to YouTube Live when we get that going, and that should be next week. And so you can ask your questions and be a part of the process with us. So Aaron, like just give everybody a quick background. Some people know who you are, some people know who I am, and hopefully we're going to be getting some new people to the show. So let's start off this first episode, just introducing who you are as a runner and your running journey a little bit, and then I'll do mine.
Okay. I'm Aaron. I've been running since 2018. I think I'd have to check my Strava. But I've been a wannabe athlete my whole life. Kind of stumbled into this running thing as a means to try to get healthier and lose some weight. I had this guy that was preparing to run his first marathon, or maybe he had already did it, and he told me I should start taking training a little more seriously. And I did that, and I kind of been hooked ever since. So, a few.
Who is this amazing guy you talking about though?
I don't know if I say amazing, but he was a guy. No, but that was you. So yeah, Tommy. Tommy. One day we just kind of connected, and Tommy. He just. I wouldn't say he told me, but he kind of encouraged me to take training for specific races a little more seriously. At the time, I was kind of just running, just kind of getting into the sport and just doing my own thing. But Tommy helped me find some structure and figure out some goals I wanted to try to hit. And we kind of been getting together and doing our thing since then. So, that's me. What else do we have? That's about it from the intro side.
And then for me, I started running in 2018, for sure with some type of structure. I mean, I trained for like a 5K a few years before that, but that was like literally to run it and then just be done with running forever. But really started running as a hobby in 2018, for more than one time a week, and kind of got hooked on, just the process. it's kind of fun to kind of see that, to make mistakes and keep pushing and kind of find new ways to do things and find new ways to do it better. And so 2018 was like a decent year of running, and then in 2019 is when I got really serious and said, hey, I want to take it serious and put some training structure and get a coach and all that stuff. So we're going to talk about coaching processes through this whole thing, and talk about where we are and the reasons why we're doing some of the things that we do. So the training for me really got going, and then I set my sights on running Boston eventually, which qualifying for Boston. And at the time, I knew my time would have to be like 3:05. So like that carrot, like of never having run a full marathon before and putting out like something that like a goal that big was like a key and a catalyst to me digging deep, finding a coach, and then just putting my body on the line and just going out there. And it's been a dope ride ever since. And I've been very transparent in like the journey. So I'm really happy to be able to do this with you and like really show, and talk about some cool, fun stuff like shoes and all that stuff, but then really talk about like how and how we go about some of this stuff that we're trying to do. So we might as well just jump into it. For those people that know us already, it's kind of like, okay, we already get this, but so let's just jump into the training, because this what this show is going to be mainly about, is about the training and shoes and recovery. So let's talk about like the training aspect. So we had week 1 of like basically like a 15 week block. The last week was really just to kind of roll us into for training for the 14-week plan. And so next starting Monday is going to be like the real kind of heavy lifting, I feel like. But we did some things this week that were much different than we've ever done before, which is a good thing because it means that we're progressing and that we can handle some of the stuff that we got going on. But I'll let you kind of take it over, because you're like the training and metrics master. So let's talk about training a bit for this week.
Okay. So this week, I believe we did a total of 53 miles, maybe a little more than that. Pretty much easy stuff, easy pace stuff. We did have a workout and a pretty aggressive long run on Sunday, but for the most part, just some pretty easy paced runs. Obviously, we lean a little heavier towards the 80-20 philosophy, if you will. 80% easy, 20% hard, but I don't even think we got that close to it this week. We're kind of just ramping up. So I think this was our first week above 50 miles since our last block for Savannah. So so just slowly ramping up the volume, and then the intensity will follow.
And can you show because we did it, the cool thing about because Aaron's not running Boston, but I'm running Boston, so like I have a lot of hills involved, and so the training is going to include a bunch of hill work. Can you show us that one that workout we did on hills? We've never really done a hill focused anything. We've always done like easy runs or intervals and then like strides. But this week, 2 times, or actually 4 times. I mean, because we've done easy runs with hill bounds at the end of it, and then Wednesday we did a hill workout, and then Sunday was just today or whatever was super hilly, and then we did a hill workout at the end. I'm gonna share. You sharing your screen? You ready?
Yes, you just gotta bring me in.
There we go. There we go.
Okay. Bam. So I had mine pulled up because I don't think I can get as in detail with the workout from yours, but same workout. Obviously, Tommy's a little faster than me, so his paces were a little higher, but same concept, same workout. And for the IG people, y'all not gonna be able to see the screen being shared, but you'll be able to check in with us later on, and you'll be able to see everything that we have going on.
So what was this one?
So this is the workout. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can pull up the splits other than like the mile splits, but if you take a look here, it'll show you the paces changing, and the grade and elevation changing as well. So it looks like On the way down, we were here about 5:30 pace.
Mm-hmm.
On a grade, a negative 10% grade for the most part,
Yeah.
and then back up that same hill. And they were 1 minute intervals. So 1 minute downhill and then untimed back up the hill.
Yeah.
And yeah, we kind of just kept an eye on effort going back up the hills uh, because we were supposed to recover back up the hill. But I don't know about Tommy. Well, I think I do know about Tommy. But for me, the actual recovery was more difficult than the actual interval. Just going back up the
Yeah.
hill because it was a pretty steep hill, and that was the
Yeah.
first time we ever really did hill repeats in that fashion. So it was interesting to say the least, but I don't think it was a bad time.
Yeah, and I think it was cool because like a lot of times you hear like hill workouts, like you think about uphill, like you're thinking that like, oh, we're gonna climb it, we're gonna run up this hill as fast as possible and recover on the way back down. But this 2 times so far that we've done like an actual dedicated workout for a hill, it's been downhill workouts, and the concept of that is for like for Boston, the biggest thing is the fact that like the first 16 miles or whatever or until like Newton Hills is like, I mean, the whole course is a net downhill course, but the thing is people like crush break their legs down just kind of sailing downhill thinking that everything's sweet, and then they get to the Newton Hills and things like that and Heartbreak Hill and all that we've heard of, and your legs and your quads are just shot. So the concept of like that we're working on here is like working on how to handle down hills and run them efficiently, get the legs used to that type of effort and that work. But then like Aaron mentioned, I kind of was like focused on this downhill part, but then when you recover back up the hill, it adds like another layer that you just ain't expecting. Like you're expecting to be like so focused on the faster pace effort, but coming back up a 8 to 10% hill is pretty tough. And I think we're only supposed to be doing like a 3 to 4% grade once I got confirmation on that.
Yeah,
So like 10% is rough, but I think it worked out really well. And we paid for our mistake by having to go back up to 10% grade, but it was just dope to say the least. But it was a good workout though. Um,
yeah,
yeah, and then everything that we do is always at least 2 miles warm up, 2 miles cool down, like at least. So this
yeah.
workout, what did it turn out to be for a total on that one?
Just I think we stopped right at 8. Yeah, we stopped right at 8, pretty
Eight
much
miles, yeah,
right at 8 miles. So
yeah, and then yeah,
also the recovery. So it's look if you look at the breakdown on Strava, is looking like the intervals down were 1 minute, and then the intervals back up. The recoveries were 2 minutes. So
yeah,
a 2-to-1 rest to run ratio. So
yeah,
not
and
not the hardest ratio, because I know a lot of times people like to try to get as close to 1-to-1 as they can for time, but
yeah.
with the hills it was a little different. So 2 minutes, pretty much 2 minutes of rest to 1 minute of work.
And I kind of like, I like the kind of like, I like, if you can see the heart rate there, the heart rate never really went down. You know what I'm saying? Like normally if you did hard work up the hill and then recovered down the hill, you would see like these big dips in your heart rate. Your heart rate would probably settle in. But this one, it was like a constant level. I mean, we were running much easier up the hill, but your heart rate never really got a chance to just come back down. So that helps out the endurance in a major way. Like you're
Yeah,
using a different parts of your leg to get back up the hill, but your heart is still active and you're still going. And I think that'll pay some dividends in the future as well.
yeah,
Um, so like for this workout, it went really well. We'll definitely tweak it next time around and do something a little more less aggressive on the hill. And then the next work we did those we ran in those in the Metaspeed skies. So
yes.
talk about these really quick. These are the Metaspeed sky. This is like the pinkish like sunrise colorway. Actually, the sunrise is the ones that you have. I forgot what these are called, but this is the Metaspeed sky. They dropped like sometime last year, and these are just. I mean, these are like my favorite racer right now. I ran in the Vaporflies forever, forever meaning like 2 years. But I ran in those and just thought I'd never run into anything different. And the Metaspeed guys have easily taken me away from that. They're much different shoe, but they just have, to me, they have more, there's more stability there. Um, and they're a little firmer, but there's still like that same amount of pop, and your legs don't feel like trash afterwards. Why did like? Because I know you. I was really worried about you actually. Like when I was like, hey, we got you these ASIC shoes. Try them on and maybe get away from the vapors a little bit. But
Mhm.
like, I was kind of nervous to see like if you would like them more than the vapors. So tell me about like where how they played into your decision making to go with those.
Um, so I really like the Metaspeed Skies. Uh, the footbed is a little wider, and I'm much more of a 4-foot striker. So the footbed being a little wider in the 4-foot just helps with some stability. It
Yeah,
still gives that same pop as the Vaporfly. Still has that stack height that you like out of Vaporfly, so it's not killing you when it comes to um, just impact on your lower legs and your knees. So um, yeah, that helps a lot, and it just doesn't feel like you're sacrificing anything because sometimes you go from a super shoe that is on the higher scale as far as reviews and what people think of them. When you start trying out other super shoes, they lack in one area, so they might have the cushion and the support that you like, but they don't have that pop, or they might be super poppy, but they don't have enough cushion, and it just feels like they're beating your legs up more than you're used to. So
yeah,
it's a good balance of stability, but still have that pop, still feel fast in them, and still have that responsiveness that you like out of the Vaporfly. So that helped a lot, and I actually use those to race in Savannah. So yeah, a big fan of the Metaspeed Sky for sure.
yeah. And somebody on IG said that they're Alpha Fly for life. I've never run an Alpha Flies yet. I said that I will this year for sure, eventually. But I will say, like, that a lot of people that have said Alpha Flies for life also really like the Metaspeed Sky for some reason.
Yeah,
They're very different though, but whatever it is, you know, I it I'm gonna try the Alpha Flies before I say anything in comparison to one or the other. I can't speak on it yet, but I
yeah. And
definitely will.
if you're gonna be Alpha Fly for life, you might want to buy like 10 pair within the next 6 months or
Yeah,
something like that, because something tells me that Alpha Fly is not going to be on the market forever.
yeah. I feel like I mean I don't have my ear to the street on that, but I feel like um whatever's next will be more. I think will be more of a in between, a go between like the Vaporfly and the Alpha Fly. Like there'll be more of a try to take like best of both worlds, because people that really like the Vaporflies, it was kind of hard to. He said he has 4 pair. That's dope. That's smart. That's real smart. You got to have enough pair. But I think like the next one I think would maybe be a little less beefed up. I think, but I don't know. So I'll chat with like Believe in the Run or something like that. They probably know. But
Right.
okay, so what can you bring up that? So next real like work that we did for real was today on Sunday. Can you bring up that workout or that run?
I can do that. I
And
absolutely can.
yeah, and so today we did a run slash workout, a substance run. It was a 12-mile run from and just by the way, we're using Hansons marathon method. I'm coached by Luke Humphrey running, and through Melissa Johnson White. She's my coach, my direct coach. So she makes up all these plans for me. And then Aaron is a big advocate of the Hansons marathon method. So it just worked out, and that's why we run together so much, because we have the same philosophy at least, or we adhere to the same method. So whenever whatever we say is based on their metrics really, or their terminology. So today we ran a 12-mile run from moderate to long run pace. And so moderate is um, I would say like maybe a minute or so, minute and a half or so, slower or faster than your true easy pace. And then long run now is a little bit faster than that. They switched it up. Long run used to mean a little slower. They used to mean a little slower, and they just use the word moderate more often. Um, but now they switched it, and it kind of makes a little bit more sense, because long runs should have some effort in them from time to time. So today it was moderate, and for my pacing, it was moderate to long run meant 7:15 down to 6:48. And that was supposed to kind of start in the beginning. We used like the first mile or so to kind of get rolling into it. And next time we may do this like on a less hilly route. but the route we had was like 600-700, elevation gain, which isn't like a lot, but it's a lot in the grand scheme of things when you're like putting in effort in the beginning of a block.
Right.
Did you have that one up for you on your numbers?
Yep. Yep. You just gotta. Yep.
That's
There you
great.
go.
Yeah.
So these are yours. These will be your numbers. And
Okay.
just to put a button on Wednesday's workout, it feels like 3 degrees outside with 14-mile-an-hour wind. So that
Yeah.
also made it very, very fun. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
moving on to Sunday.
We're training in Michigan, by the way. Like, so Michigan weather has been wild lately. So yeah, so some of this stuff, honestly, we probably ran faster. I mean, like, in the grand scheme of things, we would run faster if it was better weather. So we're pretty amazing, Aaron, I'd have to say. So today's work was, as you can see, like, if you're bear with us, if you're on Instagram, just try to get a vibe of it. So the first mile we went out, we were right around 8:19, which is kind of to settle in and get rolling. And then the first mile, the second mile, we started to kind of pick it up at 7:40, and then from there we just kind of let it rip. 7:19, 7:30, 6:57, 7:13, and then the rest of them were from maybe like 6:40 somethings down to like the fastest mile was right around like 6:35 or 6:37 at the end. And this was kind of cool. I mean, for me, today was like a really great day for me personally. And just because, like, just to be in the beginning of a block and put in that much work on a route that hilly and windy, it just felt like a really great moment, and it
Yeah.
felt cool to start off a block knowing that I'm fit, or
Yep.
somewhat fit, at a different level than I've ever started a block before. So with Boston coming, in 4 months, it's like it felt really cool to run have a great day. And yes, by the way, Aaron is showing that we ran in these. So shout out to Brooks. Brooks will be posting more content as well. But Brooks sent us three pairs of shoes. They sent their daily trainer. They sent their Hyperion Tempo, which is more of a tempo type feel, and then they sent the Hyperion Elite Twos. Yeah, you had it good the first time. So yeah, Hyperion Elite Twos. These are the second rendition or whatever of these, and I've heard the first ones were a little different, but they look the same, and they changed a few things in here. And I have to say that I've run in them a couple times. I ran a 5K in them, and I didn't like them as much as I do like at this moment, because for some reason, and you liked them on the first run. So
Yeah.
by the third one today, they felt they're bouncy, they're poppy, and my legs didn't feel like trash, and they felt really stable and quick. So shout out and hats off to Brooks for putting these together. I like them a lot, but I will say if you have these, you have to figure out the lockdown. So you have to be at, like, if you do like a runner's knot or whatever, that seemed to help me out a lot. Because people say like they had incredible blisters on their heels because of the shoe and the way that the heel counter works. It's like harder. It's I don't know why, but it's like really hard right here. Um, so I don't know what their thing is with that, but once you get that lockdown, it was like smooth sailing.
Yeah. And some of the pros for the Hyperion Elite 2 for me was that same thing. So a nice bit of poppiness. Um, I like the upper. The upper is not super robust, so you do have that freedom for your foot to move around a little bit. Um, One big problem I usually have, especially when I'm running fast,
Mm-hmm.
is that I have some toe smashing in the front.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I did not encounter today on my run, so that was interesting. I think it has something to do with the shape of the shoe. If you take a look at it, the toe box is
It's pretty.
it rolls up a little bit, so I think that may have helped out with that. Um, Pretty snappy. Definitely got the benefit of the high stack height. It didn't feel like I was beating up on my legs a lot. My only con it is a pretty stiff sole,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt it. I really felt it in my midfoot area. So the plantar area, it felt pretty hard, like you were running on a like a racing flat, even though you have all this stack height. it may be the carbon fiber plate inside the shoe
Yeah.
is so stiff that maybe it just is a little more aggressive than what I'm used to.
Yeah, because if you like try to squeeze, if you try to like squeeze the foam there, they're not like that tough, and they're not even that rigid. But whatever the combination is, because like you can't do this really to the Metaspeed guys. Like you can't.
Yeah.
They're the plate is much more rigid, but then the foam obviously makes up for it. But the combination of these, like it is, they are much firmer than I guess like the normal super shoe. But when I ran in them today, it felt different than the first two times, and that helps out. And then some of these shoes you got to give some runtime too, but I give them like the easy like A- for me today. When it comes to like
they did exactly what I needed them to do for me today.
Yeah. And I will definitely run them again.
Definitely will. I didn't have any issue with any heel counter issue problems or anything like that. But I think also because I am such a 4-foot striker that the heel counter doesn't push on my Achilles as much as maybe somebody that is a heel striker. So maybe that's why it was no problem for me. So
well, mine was like on the toe off. Your heel normally moves a bit. And that's why I just said I had to get that lockdown and get like maybe a runner's not going. So that movement wasn't as much, and then once I got that down, they're pretty dope. So shout out to them for that. And you notice that it says design in Seattle on the bottom. That's kind of dope. You can't see it, but it says design in Seattle. That's dope. Way to go. And then so basically I think that this week went really well for us on training from a training standpoint. Next week we will have much more activity, much more aggressiveness. And Aaron, so we were able to, like I said, there's gonna be a bunch of different companies that have signed on to kind of helping us get through this training block and then try out some new things. So this shoe is, I feel like this shoe came to us from Puma. Obviously, this is the Puma. All of a sudden, I can't remember the name of it.
Velocity Nitro 2.
I keep wanting to say the other
DV8.
one.
No,
DV8.
The Velocity Nitro 2.
Velocity Nitro 2. This comes out in February. So this is like the upgrade to the Velocity Nitro, the first one. And I've heard that I've never run it, so I really can't compare. I don't know what the difference was, but I feel like the upper is different on this one as well. I think the upper on the originals were a little thinner and like kind of had that like not fly knit, but that engineered mesh or whatever. I think it was more towards that. I'm not sure. I should shut the hell up right now because I don't even know. But I've just heard that these are really bouncy. They feel like a racing flat. Like I could see this on interval days, low key. I can see this on the track, and it just felt like a fast racing shoe and low profile. So I wouldn't necessarily pull these out for long runs because like I'm part of the super shoe wave now. So it's like I probably use a super shoe as something a little more bouncy like a Nova Blast 2, but this feels a lot like maybe a comparison to like a Nike Pegasus or something like that.
Yeah. So definitely a really good everyday trainer. We took it out for 10 miles yesterday. I had no issues with it. The upper is super comfy. It was somewhere around 20 to 30 degrees yesterday. Feet didn't really feel any of the temperature. So it kept the feet nice and warm. It does feel like a very good neutral everyday trainer. Reliable,
very versatile for sure.
We'll see how it holds up because I really like this shoe and I'm hoping that it can be a workhorse for me and put down a lot of mileage, a lot of volume in them. So hoping for good things. I like it, Puma. Thank you. It's a shoe that will be in my rotation for sure. But
I feel like this could be. I feel like I'll bring these out just for like a kind of a vibe on them. Is like for those days where we know it's going to be an easy run that will be ending in like some hill bounds or some strides. Because it's like these will definitely turn over, but they have enough like cush to them to kind of support just an easy run as well. So I'll definitely be using those for certain, some of these certain days, and I think that they'll stand the test of times.
Let's hope so, because we'll see how they take on volume, but hoping it will be very nice to see this be a workhorse shoe. But
and they look good too. They look good too.
Yeah, they're a nice shoe, aesthetically pleasing shoe. So those were yesterday. 10 miles. Moving on, we'll touch back since you still have the Strava up, but we probably can
Yeah.
close
Oh,
this now. But
I can get rid of Strava right now.
yeah, so we'll talk about our fueling strategy today for the long run. So me personally pulled out the UCAN energy drink mix, and I took this about 30 minutes prior to the beginning of the long run, and then supplemented it with the Generation UCAN Edge Fuel to Go.
Yeah.
Took this at about mile 6, and I felt strong throughout. Got to the last mile. I don't think I ran out of fuel. I just think I ran into an uphill portion of our route into 20-mile-an-hour winds. And that is one of the most humbling things you can do on a long run. So as far as fuel, I feel like this did the job today very well. No issues as far as GI. I got a pretty strong stomach. I don't really have a sensitive stomach like that, a sensitive digestive tract, or however you would say it. Mm-hmm. So I can do pretty much anything as far as gels or drink mixes or anything like that, and I've never really had any issues. So this is something that I feel like will be a part of my routine for long runs and for workouts going forward.
And then for me, I did the same thing. Started with the energy pack in the beginning, and then supplemented with the hold on, I'm about to lose power on this boy. Go ahead 1 second.
So while I have you here, the only issue I have with this UCAN is taking it on a run. I don't think any of the companies have really figured out the perfect way to dispense this on a run, especially a cold run, because it's tricky getting this off, ripping this package to be able to take this. And also in the cold, when I was trying to take this gel, these little plastic sides they're kind of sharp, kind of got to my lips a little bit.
Yeah.
So that was my only issue, and this comes out a little slow, but it's easily digestible. It's not like something that you have to work to take. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I did the same start process. I did the energy, and then mile 6 out of 12, I pulled this out, and actually, like, I gotta say, like, so ripping this was easier for me than some of the other gel that I use. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just worked out, but it does like, it's a little slow. But the consistency of it's cool because it's not like it's not a goo or a gel. It's literally like, if you had to compare it to anything, it'd be like Go-Gurt back in the day. Go-Gurt's still a thing probably, but you can probably somebody used to work at Go-Gurt, guaranteed. But so not Go-Gurt. So you can go. Edge was dope. I feel like it was cool, and it tastes good though too. So it's like, it kind of helps out mentally. It's like, okay, cool, we're good to go. And then pouch is kind of big, but like, that'd be another thing too. Like race day, like, just it's kind of
how many of these can you really take with you on?
I mean, they crunch up too though, so it's like, it's not like it's nothing to them. But so that was cool, and then I ended it off not with this one because it's upstairs, but this is their energy plus protein. Did you do that at the end?
No, I don't have that yet.
Oh, okay, yeah, I gotta get you this. So, so UCAN also is gonna be sending Aaron this, but then I have one as well. This is not the vegan option, but they have one that's a plant protein. So this has like their same superstarch, because so what their claim to fame is that they use superstarch in all their things, which is like a slow releasing energy, a slow releasing carb-ish type thing. So they had that in here as well, which is pretty dope, because for me, it's like, obviously you need protein after you run. But then I like the fact that there's energy in that protein, because, like, it sounds stupid, but like, after a heavy workout, like coming home and like being like a parent, or like being like a human being after a workout sometimes is a little tough. And you know, like, I go on long runs and be gone for like a couple hours, and you can't just come back and sit on the couch all day. Like, that's just not how like life works for me. So it's like, Oh, the echoes. They got an echo going on what's
Yeah,
the name?
that's because you don't have no headphones. It's the feedback.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm sorry, man. Sorry, but so it'll be over soon. So this is dope because I just feel like the energy inside of the protein really, like, it really helps me, and I can actually feel it like after I take it. So it's actually, that's dope for me. So it allows me to kind of get back to like normal life, which is fun. So I just wanted to, we might as well just end it here. We talked about training, we talked about shoes. What's like the highlight? What's the shoe of the week for you right now? The three shoes we chose. You did a workout in one. We did a 10 mile in the Pumas. We did a heavy long run in the Brooks. Who wins today?
Mm, I wasn't prepared for that question, but I think I would have to go with the Puma, man. I'm a
Hey,
sucker for a great everyday trainer,
all
and
right.
these remind me of the Pegasus. And I've had so many pair of Nike Pegasus in my life, and I just felt at home in these. They felt like an extension of myself. 10 miles, easy, did exactly what I needed them to do. No hot spots, no issues. Really like the Puma Velocity Nitro too. So shout out to Puma Running. These are a very good shoe. And like I said, I just hope it holds up and I can make it a workhorse and a staple in my rotation.
And I think you might be surprised at my star of the week is the Brooks. Hyperion Elite 2. Because I just didn't. I mean, I'll just be honest. I mean, we'll be honest here. I mean, by the way, the companies are sending us all this stuff, and if we don't like a shoe, it's not going to make it. We'll be nice about it, obviously, but we're not just going to big up every shoe that we show, hopefully. But we are picking the shoes that we kind of want and that will help us in training. So it may be some positive vibes out of most of them. But I didn't necessarily expect for this shoe to perform as well as it did today. I thought it would be more like, oh, it was cool, because actually I was low key gonna wear a different shoe, but then you said you're gonna wear these, so I had to. So I just didn't think that they would do as well as they did, and they really performed like great for me today. So this is my superstar shoe of the Super Shoe Week. But so shout out to Brooks for putting that together, and I cannot wait though to see what their version 3 of this would be, because this was dope. So three's got to be better.
Gotta be.
Um, all right, man. Well, thanks so much, guys. We'll be here next week. We're gonna be live next week on YouTube, and we're gonna do these at 5 o'clock every Sunday. Um, life, as long as life goes well and things like that, we won't have to change much. But we'll go live on YouTube next week, and then this episode will be aired and posted on IGTV here on my page, or Aaron's too. I don't think he wants to though. So yeah, Aaron's too creative for this shit. He can't have like so I'll be posting on my page. So please leave comments, like, share, all that stuff. Give us your thoughts about the shoes that we wear. If you're running them, let us know. If you don't like them, let us know. If you love them, let us know. And then if you have any questions about our training and all that stuff, let us know that as well. So thanks so much. This is the PR Project. Thanks, Aaron. Can't wait to talk to you next week again, although I'll probably see you tomorrow because we run all the time together. So peace out, guys. Keep doing your thing.